Shorty go jogging every morning, and she make me breakfast almost every morning.
Jeffrey Adonis. Today we're reacting to my doppelganger, supposedly. Seems like everyone's calling me Hamza these days. So we're going to react to a video by him that was recommended to me by a subscriber. He said to watch one of these, it's a popular old video called What a Top 1% Man Looks Like.
Jeffrey is like the bottom 80% of men who don't even try. He doesn't exercise, he doesn't meditate, he doesn't practice gratitude, he doesn't read, he doesn't learn, he doesn't do anything productive, but he thinks...
Yeah, none of that was productive. Going to the gym, you're destroying yourself. Reading, meditating, if you like to do those things, do them, but don't call them productive. They're just hobbies. My take on meditation is that when you're already happy, there is no need to. It's the same thing with prayer. If you have to do it, then there's something that you're looking for, something that you obviously don't have, something that could be attained by just being. The same goes with being grateful. And this whole idea of not doing anything should be the goal for most of us. I'm not saying do nothing so that you're bored as fuck. No, I'm saying you should have a calm state of mind where when you get to a point where nothing is going on, nothing is happening, you can just chill and relax and just be. You know, you don't have any insecurities that somebody else is outworking you, that you have to do more work. It's anxiety porn, and that's no way to live.
that playing video games is productive. He thinks that practicing to be an esports player is productive. What a dumbass. Adonis, on the other hand, well, he's the best of us. He's the ultimate man that we aspire to be like. He's the tribe leader, the one who gives back the most. He delays gratification for the sake of other people. Because Adonis understands manhood. He understands what it takes to feel fulfilled.
A shopping bag with groceries full of vegetables. Look at his physique. This is an unnatural, I would even argue disgusting physique. To get this kind of physique, you need to take steroids. And if you're taking steroids, then you're just a little boy who's insecure, who doesn't feel good about themselves.
To work on yourself, to make sacrifices, to delay gratification instead of pursuing pleasure, to fill your cup to the brim so that you can start filling up the cups of the people that you love. Two very different lives. Think back to the choices that you've made over the last month. Which one does it sound like? A couple of weeks ago, I messaged a guy on Instagram. His name is Iman Gadzi, and you might have seen a previous video where I mentioned him and how he retired his mother at such a young age. I messaged him, said that we should do a podcast, and he was down, and he said that he'd pay for...
I fucking hate that guy. Iman Gadzi promotes the same thing: self-improvement, anxiety porn, you're not good enough, you need to make more money, retire your family, which of course, naturally as a man, when you get to an age, you want to, but it is a lot less money than I think you realize.
You know, it'd be nice to come to London for a night or something. This motherfucker calls me and be like, oh yeah, look, we'll fly you out business class. Eh? So he's in Dubai at the moment. Flying me out business class, nice and fancy trip. This was actually the first experience I've had of being surrounded.
Guys, please. No, enough with the Hamza comments. We do not look alike. What the fuck? How? Let me make the face. We don't look alike. What is wrong with you guys? All of you fuckers in the comments. Nah, fuck all of you.
Surrounded by like wealth and like ultra successful young people, so it was a very eye-opening experience for me. And so I lived with Iman in his apartment for like 4 days. We slept in the same bed. And he gave me a separate bed, but he slept in that one with me. And I got to see what kind of person he was, what his lifestyle was, and I think it's very interesting because we talk a lot on my channel in like the red pill self-improvement spaces of like getting into the certain percentage of men who are like very successful, attractive, confident. I would go as...
A top 1% man was one thing he mentioned there, which is just attractive. Let me make it very clear for you guys if you're still confused. What makes a top 1% man is simply how he was born out of the womb, how his face looks, how tall he is. And these qualities, which are real, which are biological, trickle down to everything else. If you're tall and handsome, you're gonna get more status. People are gonna like you. People are gonna believe you. More likely to be voted for. More likely to be fucked. It's incredible the difference in this kind of life. So trying to be in the top 1% of fame or money, like, sorry, you're just insecure.
far to say that this right here is a 0.1% man. That isn't me like, you know, trying to suck his dick or anything. The truth is that 80% of men are total fucking losers. And in terms of his wealth, I believe he'd be like 0.0001% or something, especially for young people. And the life setup that he has, living in a fancy place that's very central in Dubai, he has like popping social circles.
Dubai, where the skies are engineered, the rain is fake, buildings, which is the most satanic place you can live in because you're only further removed from nature. This is not an ideal life, regardless of what the media, what other people, what brainwashed, insecure little boys are trying to tell you.
Goes on trips with like supermodels and does almost like a mini Dan Bilzerian lifestyle. It's very interesting. He's like,
That's not interesting. That's super fucking sad.
and he is worth, I believe, around 10 million right now at the age of 22. When he was around 16 or 17, that's when he started making like 50 to 100k profit per month. And I believe now he makes like a few 100,000 profit per month from the business plus investments. What truly matters is how that money is used. Iman uses his money by living in like a very central, beautiful, like up-level place in Dubai. I remember when
Again, guys, nothing wrong with making money. I would urge you, money is an incredible tool to leverage the natural things that you need in this life. But to make all this money, however much he's making, and then decide to move in a city, into a building full of pollution, it almost feels like that whole city is genetically engineered. You are not helping yourself or anyone. And this is the problem with money if you don't use it to leverage a natural lifestyle, is that it becomes a chase in of itself. What worth or necessity do you have to be making $10 million a year? Where does that get you? Does that change your biological needs? Will you ever stop wanting children? Will you ever stop wanting good nutrition? No. So money is important, don't get me wrong, but to this extent is complete brainwash, complete insecurity, probably comes from some sort of childhood trauma.
went to the chauffeur service that he organized for me to get like a chauffeur ride, and they asked me which address I was going to. I told them the place that I was going to where he lives, and they actually looked like very almost stunned and impressed. I get into the chauffeur, like the taxi, tell the same guy, he looks back at me impressed, that's the best place, that's one of the newest buildings. And I ended up telling a escort, it's a f***ing long story, I ended up telling an escort where we were staying, and again, I saw her eyes f***ing light up. And no, I didn't f***ing escort, bro. Relax. I think what I liked most about the level of wealth that he had was that he used it in very like sophisticated, like posh ways. Where, for example, he had like good whiskey and vodka always ready for us. He smoked cigars. He was getting...
Spend your money poisoning your body, pretending that you're enjoying it. People do this because they think it's cool, because they saw fucking Andrew Tate do it, so now I'm gonna do it because I'm a man. All you're telling me is that you don't feel like a man in the first place, because you have to do all these activities that men do when a man just is. You come out XY chromosome with a pair of testicles, you are a man. You come out with ovaries, you are a woman. And what allows you to stay that way is eating how you're supposed to.
like the, the fancy wine, and he knew how to do like the wine tasting thing where the waiter will bring you the bottle and you have to nod and be like, yes, that is the bottle that I ordered. Then the waiter will pour like one sip into the glass, and you've got to do this bullshit of like swirl it, smell it, drink it, and be like,
That's fucking retarded bullshit.
First thing dynamic that I saw, which again is kind of like common sense, but when you see it, it just kind of like, makes you think something, was that we went to like some parties and everything, and it was that same dynamic that I kept on seeing, which was like an older guy with a young, beautiful woman. Kind of like stuff that Chris from the YouTube channel First Man talks about, like the male advantage. But in terms of Iman and the women that were around him, they looked beautiful and they seemed like nice, sophisticated girls. And he had like an aura around him, like this magnet around him of this like attention, and like everyone's focus is going there. And so when I asked him some autistic questions like, how attractive are the girls that you get, and what is dating like for you, and he's showing me like some girls on like Instagram. I'm not gonna lie, like they were like fully like the fucking like 9s and 10s, like the real 9s and 10s. It was funny as he literally showed me that he's been with like the same girls that like famous rappers have been with. It's like showing me like that guy, like some famous rapper, like I won't say his name or anything just in case, but like famous rappers.
So dude, how's dating going for you? Honestly, bro, let me just show you their Instagram. They're super hot. Yeah, bro, you see her? She's been with so many other dudes. And lots of guys with money and stuff like that. She's bad as fuck too, isn't she? Oh my god. Crazy, I also want to be with gold diggers who have been with a bunch of other people before. I mean, dude, yeah, why wouldn't you? They're so hot, right? It's not like they have daddy issues or anything like that. Please don't tell me this is what men are looking for.
I personally relate to that, and I think you might be able to. But I can understand and somewhat relate that it would be very difficult to abstain from like, cashing in and being able to sleep with girls when like you've reached that point when a lot of attractive women do want to be with you. It's something that I sound like a dickhead, loads of girls want to be with me, but it's something that I have struggled with, and I've spoke about on my channel over the last few months, that I've struggled with restraining from casual sex, because as my value goes up, as I'm getting more confident and successful, and
your value can't really go up, man. What you're experiencing is more fame, and maybe more girls will be into you because they can just see you, or they may be just into your fame, which then means that they're not actually into you, the way you look, your biological makeup. Getting these things doesn't increase your value. Getting more fame, all it may do is just increase your visibility so that more girls can decide if they're into you or not.
Wealthy. I'm getting more and more women who are attracted to me, who are putting in the work. Like they seem to be like chasing me. They watch me on YouTube and everything. And it's hard to not indulge when you have the capability to enjoy a part of life that for probably many years you never really got to experience.
Yes, this makes a lot of sense. If you haven't had sex in a while, it's maybe very hard to deny that opportunity when it does appear in your life. And like I talk a lot about on this channel, no need to resist your desires, but nowadays, to navigate in modern society, we may have to, unfortunately, rely on higher thoughts. A good question to ask yourself, whether a man or woman enters your life, does this person want the things I want? Are they biochemically healthy? And are they open-minded? The last two are kind of the same. These are very important questions you have to ask yourself. Holy fuck, I'm sweating. It's 34 degrees here today. Because if you don't ask yourself these questions, you will always live a superficial life. You will have all the money in the world, all the attention in the world, yet you'll always feel kind of empty because you've never asked yourself, well, why am I horny? Why do I want to fuck all the time? Why do I want a partner? And if you can't get down to the nitty gritty, to the depths of that, you'll always be hedonistic. You'll always give in to temptation. And you'll essentially always be lost, no matter how much of the material things you have. Not that you really own anything in the first place.
But the truth is that the blatant, unfiltered truth is that the majority of us don't really have the opportunity to do that. So it's easy for us to, say like, oh, I'm not going to sleep around because I'm Christian. But the real truth is, would women want to sleep with you? Because once you have that offer in front of you, I think a man does change. And I think that's when your values truly get tested. And I'll be completely, totally honest, like, when my values are tested like that, bro, I often fail 100%. It does sometimes feel like an addiction or something that I feel somewhat powerless to.
The reason you cannot deny when a man or woman enters your life is because you are obviously missing something. The problem is people don't actually know what they're missing. Once you figure that out though, it will be very easy for you to say no to the people who obviously don't fit the agenda of your life. And you'll never have casual partners again. You'll never have a breakup again because you'll know exactly what to look for.
Express that I don't want to be in like the casual sex scene anymore. I don't want to hook up with girls because it just like, it hurts my soul.
Fortunately, most of your value is determined a little bit after puberty. Everything else people are going to judge you on. The clothes you wear, the kind of car you have, how much money you make, will only always appeal to unnatural people. People who are so far removed from what actually matters that would you even care to impress them anyways? I would say most of you would say no. Modern life has obviously made it harder to live naturally, but I think we can leverage a lot of these tools that we have to make it even easier than if we were living in a jungle. So if you're going to make money, do it from the right intention. If you're going to find a partner, do it for the right intention. Nothing else should be occupying your thoughts because nothing else will make you happy. Take care, guys.